morning everybody, welcome to Carnation Crafts TV. This is our second day of our brand new launch, Fleeting Beauty. If you missed the shows yesterday, we are here for 3 shows today. So you've got me and Bunny today, 10, 12 and 2. We are live and interactive, so if you want to message in, Bunny's there ready to read out any of your messages or comments. Now Fleeting Beauty has been really popular. We are 45% of the stock of this has gone just in the first day yesterday. It is item number 260301 and you can see it's on that show price for you of $109.99. The usual price is $129.99 and Friday midnight at Friday, that price is going to go back up. So don't miss this if it is something that you think you are going to get the most use out of. So we're going to start off at the top. So this collection for me is such a unique collection because for me, you've got 3 card bases you could use in this. So to start off with, you do have your card shape as normal. Now this is the leaf prism card shape. Now you might be looking at that and thinking, how does that make a card? But you can see one of the card samples over there. You can see exactly how that comes together. Obviously I am going to show you as we go through the shows and demo, but it makes the most beautiful stand up, the most 3D card. You can see how you can have those leaves on the back. It looks so intricate, so eye-catching, but again, as always with Carnation, really simple to make. So you can have a really unique, exciting looking card base straight away without having to do anything at all. So really, really easy one to use. Then you've got your flowers that you can see there. So you've got your showstoppers. Now again, you can see that big bouquet there, but what I love about how they've done this one is all of the separate flowers you can see. You can decoupage up on top of that bouquet if you want to, but because you've got nice long stems in these and they've done you kind of individual flowers, you can essentially make up your own bouquet. So if you want some flowers coming out of like the cups that we've got coming up, or maybe you just want to make a little bouquet of your own, you can absolutely do this. Or maybe you know somebody who just loves daffodils, so you just want to use the daffodils, you can absolutely do that because you can see you've got nice individual flowers there. Then you've got your captured in time. So if you go down, you've got captured in time, which is almost like a Polaroid style picture frame. So you can see there in the sample next to it, it gives you that Polaroid look, which I think is so lovely and so usable with every collection that you'll have from Carnation, because you can mix this up. Obviously you can use it with your own actual photos and things like that as well. But like you can see there, it's giving you another card shape that you could use. So you could also use this to make your own card bases with, and then you've got those mason layers there to decorate with. Really nice one. I think it would be so nice for like invitations, nameplate settings and things like that as well. It's just such a lovely usable one. Then we have our Building Something Beautiful, which are those lovely birds that you can see there. So you've got the tree stump, you've got the little nest there with the eggs in, and then you've got the 2 little birds holding something in their beaks too. So you've got them, so they've got, and one of the nice things with this, you can see their feet are flat. And they've been designed so obviously they can be stood on the floor, they can be stood on top of the cup or stood on top of the tree trunk. So instead of them actually having like looking as if they're holding on to something, their feet are flat, which is a really nice design aspect for us. So it's really easy to work with. And then we have our Delicate Serving, which again is giving you another card base. So you've got this beautiful doily. Now this doily, you could use that just as a matte layer, as a doily, as a decorative doily on all of your cards. But you also have this element here, which I will show you when we go through the samples and things. But this gives you the back to be able to make that into a card shape. So this bit pops out and stands up on its own. And then you've also got your cups there as well. So you can use them to obviously put the flowers in, the birds can be stand on. And I will show you like some of these, you could even cut them and use them more like as flower pots and things like that. So really nice big collection lots of elements in there you can mix in with other collections as well. I think it's such a nice collection to be at. Really uplifting as well. Do you know when you see the art of it, really bright and cheerful in there with that bouquet. Now we do have also on the show the Burst card shape collection. So in this, you're going to get the Sunburst card shape and the Leaf Burst card shape. Now these do work with the Leaf Prism card shape. So you can see the tabs on the bottom. These coordinate in with that. They work in the same way so that they can stand up like this. So you can see that the base of this card is the Leaf Prism card shape, and then you've got the Sunburst on the back. So you can see how they work alongside that. Now this has been so incredibly popular. 80% of the stock of this has gone. So if you were wanting to get this, or you're thinking about adding this in, I wouldn't hang around, because 80% of this has gone, and this is the first show of the day. Okay, so this one is item number 260307, and this is on a show price of $39.99 for you. Okay, so if you are thinking about those two, do not hang around with them too, because they have been so popular. Then we also have the Perfect papers that you can see here. So we've got the Fleeting Beauty Perfect papers. So you've got your solids in there, you've got your diagonal stripes, and you've got your dots. You can see the colours in here have been perfectly pulled out from, like if I just put that bouquet next to it, you can see you can pull any single colour out of there and it works perfectly. All of the colours have been pulled out from the artwork, so you don't have to worry about your colour coordinating or trying to find those right shades of colour. You can just grab that and you will know you are good to go. You've got 48 sheets in there, and they are 300 GSM. So it's your perfect weight if you want to do your die cutting. They're going to die cut perfectly. Your mats and layer and your card bases. It's your perfect all-round cardstock, and obviously you've got the perfect colour shades in there to go with the collection. Now I am going to go through the boards so you can see exactly what it is that you're getting within the Fleeting Beauty collection. So I'm going to start off with that Leaf Prism card shape. Okay, so you've got your bases. Now you've got two different bases in here that you can use. I'm just going to grab one that I did earlier yesterday so I can show you exactly how that works. So it works the same on the both of these. Okay, so you've got your bases, and you can see you've got your mats and layers as well. Now your leaf designs are going to go on the back, so you can see there how you're going to build those onto the back of your base. Okay, now these tabs are the same on the Sunburst, so this is why the Burst collection goes with this die on its own. Okay, so these tabs glue onto there, so you get two of your bases, and then you glue one on one side, one tab, glue one on the other tab, and then what that does is it makes these close up like that. It should have been much easier to do it putting it down. So that will close up like so, which is what makes those leaves stand up, and then you can see the little notch that you have is what holds those there. Now obviously if you don't want that, you could use your magnets if you wanted to, you could use little Velcro dots if you wanted to, but you have that notch built into the die, so that will keep it up like so. So the actual base of the card is what makes those stand up. So if you've been looking at the samples and thinking, you know, but how do they stand up on their own? That is how it does it. Okay, so it's actually the base that does everything. The dies do all the work for you. So that's exactly how you'd use the Sunburst one as well. Now this tab here is like a pop-up mechanism. So you have seen our pop-up boxes before. Kind of the same, except for this one has wings on the side of it. So what that means is now we can now essentially kind of dome our dies around like this, so then it doesn't matter if you're looking at your project from a slight angle, you can dome it so that you can still see the artwork on the sides. So really nice one to use. Obviously you've got that larger area, so like the bouquets and things like that, they're going to work perfectly with those. Then we go on to the bouquet. You can see, look how just that board, it just looks so cheerful, doesn't it, and bright and like summer days are coming. It just looks really cheerful. You can see all of that artwork, really bright, lovely colours. And you can see how the florals are kind of individual flowers. So you can use this bouquet on its own. You can easily go in and snip into this as well if you wanted to make it slightly smaller. But you have all of the flowers individually. So you can now build up your own bouquets with these. So maybe you just want to use the bells. You can do that, or maybe you just want to add in the pinks. You know, you can make up your own, or maybe you just want a couple of flowers. Maybe you've just got like a little gap, like if I just grab that one, maybe you just want a couple of the flowers on the base of your card. You know, you can now do that because you can build up your own. Then we have the delicate serving. I really like this one. So you've got that lovely doily, which again, the doily is so detailed, so intricate. You can use that just as a doily, as a matte layer on your card projects, and just have that on its own. But obviously you've got your teacups there, but obviously, you know, think about cutting them. If you cut that handle off, that could be just the vase of flowers that you could be using as well. Yeah, a little pot, plant pots. Obviously you could even cut the base off as well to make it look more like a pot if you wanted to. So always think of the snippability with carnation. Then this tab, so you can see the tab here. This is a score line, and then you've got two little cut lines there. The score lines are in the die as well, okay? So you don't need to go looking for a scoreboard. Dies do all the work for you. Then this bit will just pop up, and then that is what keeps that card. I'm sure we did one of these yesterday, didn't we? Let me see if I can, where mine, oh yeah, I've got it here. Right, so you can see I've used the doily as the base, and then I've actually put the captured in time on. So then if I lift that up, you can see there's the mechanism on the back. So this bit just pops out, and then that is what stands up to make the card stand on its own. So it's like a little photo frame, you know, the things that just pop out. I'm sure it's got a proper word, but that kind of thing. So that, and again, something so usable that you could use with other collections and other dies too. Then we have building something beautiful. These are so pretty. So you've got your lovely birds. They've got little twigs, little sprigs in their beaks as well. You've got the tree stump, plus you've got the nest of eggs as well. So think about Easter cards too. Really nice elements to bring in. You can use them as grounding elements, use them to build up your scenes. The beaks as well have been designed so they're on the front, so you can easily go in and snip them out as well. So if you maybe just want the birds without them holding on to something, or maybe you want the birds to be holding something else, like maybe you want them to be holding something from the bouquet or something else, you can easily put something else there instead if you want to. Then we've got the captured in time. So this is that Polaroid. This is the one that I just showed you. Picture frame that you can use. You can see you've got lots of matte and layers to use. You've got your outside matte and layer too. So you can have that as your card base, then have the actual Polaroid image. You've got matte and layers to go at the front there. So if you want to use these for your tabs, for your sentiments and things. And then you do have matte and layers to go in that aperture part too. So you could essentially build it up like that, or use them separately if you wish. So that is the complete Fleeting Beauty collection. So don't forget, it is item number 260301, and that show price of £109.99 is going to go back up at midnight on Friday. Okay, the normal price of this is £129.99, so that's going to go back up to that on Friday. But we do also, I'm going to go through quickly the burst card shape collection. Now these, like I said at the start, have been so popular. 80% of the stock of these have gone. Now I'm going to start with the sunburst first. So this is the one where you're going to get that lovely design. Obviously I say sunburst, so I instantly see like the sunset behind it, you know, and the colours fading. But you could use these for so many different things. If you did that in black or gold, it kind of looks a bit Art Deco. You could use, you could have a colour gradient going through it, so you could go from like light pink to dark pink. You could even put different colours going through it, like a rainbow style. So many different ways that you could use this, and other collections you could use this with as well. It gives you a lovely base for your cards. Now, the lovely thing with this is the outside die to cut out the edge and the inside die to cut out the burst are separate. So you can cut this out as a whole, or you could cut that design into your cards. So lots of different ways that you could use them. But obviously you can see your two tabs there. So that is what works with the leaf prism card shape from the collection. Okay, so you can see how it works exactly how I just showed you with the leaf, that the two base cards stick on there and then they fold, and that's what brings this to stand up. And then we've got the same with the leaf. I love this one. I think it's so pretty. And do you know, when I look at it, I think of so many different things. Like sometimes I look at it and I think, yeah, it's leaves. And then sometimes I look at it and I think it's petals. Like that's the middle of the flower and it's petals. It could be feathers. Yeah, it could be mermaid scales, and you could have like a mermaid card. It can be so many things. I think this is definitely one of those dies that you could do this in a mix of different colours, and it's going to fit so many different themes that you use. Now, obviously, you've got different styles that you can use this with as well. And then you've got the fact that you can use it in the card or out the card as well. So you've got different ways of actually using them too. Now, I'm going to go through some samples so we can see. So I'm gonna try and grab some first using the Fleeting Beauty collection so we can see those. Now this again I think is such a lovely way of showing you. Vera's done this card, and Vera's actually used the largest leaf to make the actual card base, and then the smaller ones cut in vellum, look, as little accent pieces, and then decorated that. So again, that's another way of using that leaf card shape, because you can use the leaves as the actual card base on its own, which I think is such a lovely idea. And then I've got one here by Sue. So you can see there. So Sue has used it kind of how it was intended with that base in there, and then built the leaves up. And this is a really nice way of showing you actually the tab that comes, that pop-up tab that comes with the card shape. Now if you look at that, you can see the dimension look on this front leaf. And that's because that tab, if I just turn it, you can see that tab is there, look. And that really does give you that dimension to be able to build these up and make them look like a really nice 3D card, which is something really special. Then, oh, I've got another one here by Sue. And that's using the Delicate Serving. So you can see that using those doilies as your card base. It's such a lovely design. It's so intricate as well. Really, really pretty, with those birds there. And you can see actually how Sue has used that bouquet to just build up her own flowers. So she's designed that herself, even using the flowers like as the stopper. Such a lovely idea. Then I've got one here by Janine, using the Captured in Time. You can see there with the doily and the florals there, with the little bird sat in the cup. Yeah, Bunny's just said it's a nice mix between the delicate doily and then the bold frame. It's really, I love the blue behind. It's almost like a clean and simple, but not, if that makes sense. It's something really fresh about it. Then I've got one here by Pam. And you can see that using the leaf in the background. Really, really pretty one. And then, right, so then the rest of them are going to be a mix using the collection with the burst card shape. So you can see there, look at that, so pretty. You've got the vellum there in the back, giving you that little extra texture in there with those flowers built in. No, I know what you mean. Bunny's just said she thinks it would make a nice sympathy card because there's something almost like halo-y I get what you mean. I do get what you mean. Yeah, I think if you imagined like one of our churches or like a cross or something there, it would work really well, wouldn't it? Really, really well. And then I've got one here by Barbara, and that one is using, so that's a nice way of showing you, because they're both kind of cut in, but that's in the light green and that's in the white, but with vellum. So you can kind of see the different design that you get with the two of them. Then we've got another one here. Oh, let me just close that. So we've got the leaf mixed in there with, oh, that one doesn't want to stay up. So the leaf design on this one. So this has got the leaf prisms, but mixed in with, oh, that one doesn't want to stay closed, with the leaf burst card shape. So you can see how they work really well together. And then I've got another one here that I'm just going to show you quickly, because you can use them. Vera done this one, look. Oh, has this one got tiny lights in? Oh, hang on. Have I turned them on? I can't tell if I've turned them on or not. They're blue. It's too light. I can't tell if I've turned it on. Oh, yes, I have turned it on. Oh, no, you're not going to see it. Oh, bunny. Wait there. I can turn this one off. Let me see if this makes a difference, because I can turn the one by me off. Can you see the blue? Vera's in that. She's put blue tiny lights in there. How has she got blue ones? Oh, maybe she's coloured them. Wait there. Let me turn. Maybe she's. Can you see? No. Maybe she's coloured them with like an alcohol pen. Would that? I don't know if that would. Can you see it? Yeah, look, she's got blue. That's so lovely. Can you see? Yes, you got that blue coming through. But showing you of using that leaf burst card shape though inside. So you can use it almost like a stencil. You could have it and use it inside your cards as well. And you can also use it as a cutout as well. So you can almost use it like as your own aperture inside your card as well. Let me just turn that off so I don't forget. Really, really lovely cards. And then I'll just do one more when I put the others back. So we've got that one there by Sue. So you can see again how different they look. Different colour cardstocks as well really do change the look of these. But there's something so interesting straight away, isn't it, on the base of your card. So you don't really need to overthink what you're going to do with the rest of the card or how you're going to put the card together, because your base just looks so incredible straight away. Right then. So, but do not forget, we are 45% when we came to wear of the stock of the Fleeting Beauty has gone. So it has been extremely popular. So if you are thinking about getting that, do not miss out on that show price, because midnight on Friday that will go back up. Right, shall we make a card? Right, so I'm going to start off with the leaf prism card shape to begin with, because obviously if you missed any of the shows yesterday, I want to start with that so you can see exactly how easy it is to actually put this card together. I've got a little bit of dye there. That was going to annoy me if I left that. Right, so we're going to start off with the leaf. Now for this one, I'm going to use the medium size leaf, and I'm going to use 2 of the smaller leaves, okay? Now, you can mix these up however you want. You could use 3 of the medium ones. You could use 5 of the medium ones. You can put as many on here as you want, and you can put whichever sizes on as you want, okay? The only thing you need to remember is just how you put that base together, okay? So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to grab some red liner tape, and I'm going to put this on here. Now, I did say this yesterday, if you were using if you're doing these at home, always use a wet glue, okay, because this is part that's going to be constantly moving. I'm just using red liner tape just for speed, so I can show you how to put it together, but always use a wet glue. And do let us know as well if you are sat watching, are you waiting for a delivery today? You could be like one of those really lucky people whose postie comes like really early, so you could have already had yours delivered, which would be amazing. So, right, so we've got our leaf. So whichever leaf you're going to use, the one that is going to be like at the center is the one that you're going to glue these bits to, okay? So then all you're going to do is just join up the corner. So these tab bits are at the front, so these go at the back. So what I find easiest to do is just fold it. Your score lines are on there for you, okay? So I just fold it on the score line and then just join those corners up. So where the score line is, just join those up. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side, where you just join those up. So you've made that. And then what happens then is that these fold over, and that is what stands up. So you've got your card that goes down, and then that will fold up. And then because you've got that kind of that crease there, can you see how it's slightly bent? That is what keeps it up then. So that reinforces that and keeps it. Right, let's do the same with the smaller ones. So I'm going to stick these two on, and I'm going to stick these next to them like that. So I'm going to grab my red liner tape. Now again, use a wet glue if you're doing this at home. I'm just doing this just for speed. So I'm going to pop a bit of red liner tape on there, and on the other side too. So we'll pop them on. And then I'm going to put these and I'm going to put them on there, and I'm just going to slightly overlap them. And again, I'm just lining up the bottom of that leaf where the score line is. So where you can see the score line there, you're just going to place that so it meets that score line. I did yesterday. Yeah. Oh, well, it shows how much you were paying attention. Oh, Bunny just said, I'm surprised you haven't said that you could use these as Christmas cards, because I'm seeing Christmas cards. Yeah, we said they kind of give you like poinsettia vibes. Do you know what I've just thought? And I got no idea what this would look like. We'll have to try it next time. I'll cut some bits out in the next show and we'll try it. But you know what, I've just had a random idea. So this might not work at all, but bear with me now, Bunny. Do you know if I pop this on there now, and then I cut this bit away, and then I just cut like around there, would it give you like a tree vibe? And then you could do it the same with that one. So you could have it stand like that and it would look like 3 trees. Oh, she sees she sees where I'm going. She sees the trees. Yeah, you can kind of cut it and then just like obviously cut this bit quite thin and then cut around there like that and then do the same there, and it would be like a little, you could have like your own little forest, your own snowy little forest, and have your reindeers at the front. Oh, she's on me with it. She's on with that one. She gets that one. Right. Now your base, you've got these 2 little notches. Okay. So what you want to do is just, because I did this on air yesterday, you want to make sure that you cut the one that goes on top. Okay. So I'm folding it obviously this way. It doesn't matter which way you fold it, just know which way you're doing it, because obviously you're going to do mats and layers and things on top. So if we fold it this way, so this one is going to go on top, then I know that I need the tab at the bottom. So what you're going to do then is just snip this away. So you're just going to snip like that. And then when that closes, this bit pops up, and that stops the card then from going back. So that just holds it in place, so that'll just stand like that on its own. So obviously this is why we said you could use magnets. So you could do matte layers under it and put magnets on there if you wanted to. Pop a little magnet there and it would just pop close, or a bit of Velcro, but you don't have to, okay? You've got that mechanism there in the die for you. So now we know this bit is the bit that's going on top. So this is the bit now that I need to be concentrating on. So what I do when I've done this, I turn my card so that where that notch is facing me. So I know that this is the front of my card. Okay, because what I would do, if I left it like that, I would end up putting things facing this way. And then obviously when you go like that then and close it, they're going to be facing that way and not this way. So I just, you know, one of my things I would say, just face it so that notch is facing you, so you know where the front of that card is going to be. Right, and then we're going to go in, so I've cut out the next layer. This is the Perfect Paper. Oh, Bunny, I haven't changed my day of my glue. Oh! You hadn't asked. That's why I'm blaming you. You didn't ask me, so I didn't change it. You didn't ask me yesterday, so I thought, oh, she's past the point of caring now. She knows that I get the right day glue, so now I don't have to worry about it anymore. Right, so I'm going to get my Tuesday glue. Ta-da! Right, and I'm going to pop that on. So I've just cut out the next layer from that base. Perfect Paper, lovely, lovely shade of green. I'm going to pop that in. And then I've cut out the super smooth 350 GSM next, and I'm going to put that on there. And that cardstock is actually the same one I've used for all of the card. I do recommend using a heavier weight cardstock. I wouldn't go anything less than 300 GSM for this style of card, and especially when you're doing like the pop-up bit that we're going to do next, because it needs to have that strength in it to obviously pop back up, especially if you're going to be posting it and you're going to be pushing it flat. You know, if it's a thinner weight cardstock, you know, and you push it down, it's just going to stay there. It's not going to pop back up at all. So you want to have a bit of weight in that cardstock. Right, so we've got our matte layer, and then we are going to use this pop-up bit then. So when you run this through your die cutting machine, obviously I've used that 350 GSM, our super smooth. This is exactly how it comes out to you. You've got your score lines in there ready to go. And then I'm just going to put a bit of red liner tape. Now, like I said, wet glue when you're doing this at home. Make sure you get that nice strong bond with these. So your score lines are there for you. You can see built into your die. So you're just going to score them, and then you're going to glue those tabs together to give you that rectangle shape. Okay, so we're just going to take that off there, and then that is just going to go on there like that. So you've made that rectangle. And then I put a bit of red liner tape on there because that bit is now going to stick on the bottom of our card like that. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down, and then I'm just going to use my pokey tool just to give that a push, make sure that's stuck down. So then that will now fold flat, but then we'll come back up, and especially when you close that card. So can you see how that will stand up? Now, how else would you get to be able to build that dimension here at the front? You know, because for me, if I had that card, then I would try and like kind of build it up from those leaves. But you can see you're starting here. So yeah, you're making that really 3D element with it. It's really, really different as well. So I'm going to pop that down. So we know now, so essentially, all we've done so far is some die cutting, which if you're using an A4 die cutting machine, you could cut out the bases and the mats and the leaves kind of more or less in one pass. You'd have to do the base twice. And then I've cut out one piece, one mat in the Perfect Paper, and we've got that tab. So let's just say 2 passes of your A4 die cutting machine, and you've got that base. You've essentially, 2 passes of your die cutting machine, made that card. And now the only thing we need to worry about is this element here, because you've essentially got that complete card like that from maybe 2 passes of your die cutting machine. I mean, how many other dies can you say you could have a card like that? Yeah, that looks so incredible just from a couple of passes of your die cutting machine. Right, so we're going to do this. Now, I'm going to actually put in the doily from the delicate serving, and I'm going to actually glue this onto the front bit. So this is kind of going to be the bit that stands up at the front. So I wanted to try and like mix and match some of these elements to see what they would look like. So I've cut that out in that same lovely green from the Perfect Papers that we used for the mat. So I'm just going to stick that on there like that. So I'm just going to give that a push down. And if you're putting anything onto this tab, once you've once you've glued it, just stand it up to make sure that you haven't pushed it down, that it'll still stand up. It's not going to affect that pop-up bit, which that isn't going to, so that's fine. So we've got that there. Then we're going to bring our beautiful die. Look how intricate that is. I love that in the white with that colour coming through. It's something so fresh and just that clean, fresh look about it. Really, really pretty. So I'm just going to go over this with some of the everyday glue. Obviously everything that I'm using, and I'm saying like the everyday glue, the 350 super smooth, everything is available on the website, so you can have a look on the website for them. That is going to go on there like that. So we've got that lovely doily, and now we're going to decorate that doily. Now actually, before I do that, what I'm going to do, do I do it before? No, I'm not going to do it before. Right, so we're going to get one of our little cups, which I think, look at the detail, the shading, really, really pretty. Really lovely, aren't they? Like, just look at the shading, the shadow you've got there going through the bottom. Really, really nice. I do also think though that you could mix and match these up. Like, I've got another one here, so I'm going to do this. So if I just snip the handle away, and then we'll snip. So you could use it like that, like it looks like a flower part, a plant part. You could use it like that. And then if we snip one of those layers away, let's see what that looks like first. So that, I think it kind of looks a bit more like a pot, like that. Or you could even cut. And use it like that as well. So you got, or you could do that, pop that on there, and then use that and decoupage it up a bit and give it that little bit more 3D look. So lots of different ways that you can mix these up. Now I'm going to pop this on, and I'm going to pop this on the side here. So let's grab some Pinflair. Oh, Pam from our DT team, whose lovely cards you've been seeing, has messaged in saying, morning to me and Bunny. Good morning, Pam. I hope you're well. I bet you Pam's just come back from shopping. Oh no, it's a bit early, yeah. Oh no, Bunny's saying it. I love how you know. Bunny's just said, no, that's Monday and it's Tuesday. So Bunny's informing me, no, Monday is Pam's shopping day. Oh, no, she doesn't know now. She's saying it's like the Monday or Friday. Pam, you need to let Bunny know. Yeah, let Bunny know. Has she got it right? Now, I'm going to use some of the Showstopper bouquet and I'm going to kind of build my flowers around here. So I want them to come out of the cup, but I'm going to kind of build it around because I want to put the sentiment there, okay? So I'm using them separate to just build them up how I want them to go. Obviously, especially I'd say with flowers, print them double-sided. So do your mirrored vignettes, because, you know, you could have that there, but then you might, you know, do something and think, oh, I need something that you can just flip them around and have them going in different direction. It makes life so much easier. You're never limited by anything. So if there was one thing I could say that I would recommend doing, it would be, especially for your flowers, to do them in your mirrored vignettes. Right, so let me stick these in here so we can get on with another one. Right, let's snip that down. And I'm just going to build this up as I go. So I've got put that one there. I'll add this little one there. So we can just build this up. Now, obviously I'm using the daffodils for this one, but you could be, maybe you're making a card for somebody who, you know, there's like certain flowers. Oh, actually, I don't know if I want that there. I'm going to put it there. Like maybe you're going to use just the pink elements. You know, you can mix them up and make them exactly how you want them to be, which I think is nice. And then I'm going to add a couple of these in. I don't know what these are, Bunny, do you know? Little sprigs. They look like little... I was gonna say they look like corn to me, but obviously, oh, she's gonna remind herself what they are. Let's add these in. I feel like, because I think I've said this before, but when I was younger, there was woods like by my house, so me and my friends would always be playing in the woods when I was younger, and I feel like they were always there, and like they'd feel almost like furry. Hairtail, they're called. Oh, so I am. So I see. I knew what it was. I just didn't know what it was called. Yeah, yeah. They were like furry little things. So bluebells, daffodils, hairtails, some leaves, and snapdragon. Oh, that's that one. Is that the snapdragon? Is that one? Primula. There you go. I mean, Bunny did not have to look that up, and I did not need Bunny to tell me the names of those at all. Ah! Oh, Pam, you've just made Bunny very happy. She's just told me. All I heard was, I was right. So Pam does go shopping on a Monday. So Bunny was right. She had the right day. Well, there you go. Well done, Bunny. She's on fire today. She named all the flowers. She got Pam's right shopping day. And you were with me with the Christmas on this one, so yeah, I don't know what's going on with Bunny today. She's having one of those days today. Right, I'm going to pop that there. So I've got the matte layer from the centre of that doily that I've used to stamp, and that's one of the stamps from our Clean and Simple range. Now, I was going to put one of those little birds on that, but I don't think it needs it. I think it looks quite clean and fresh like that. Yeah, should we leave a little birdie off? Right, so now this is going to stand up and not fall everywhere because of the pin and flare. And then that is going to go on there. Push that tab up, and then that will stand up like so. So you just push that tab up, And then that will stand like that. Although my daffodil is stuck, and now that's come off. I like that. That's a very like spring is coming card, isn't it? Really clean, simple and fresh looking, really lovely. And that's just using, you know, some of those florals as well. So you could really build that up a lot more than obviously what I did there. But we did use the leaf prism card shape for that one. So that's what we've used to make the actual card shape. We used the delicate serving as well. So we used the doily from there. And then we have mixed in some of those single flowers as well. So lots of different ways that you could use. Oh, actually, I'm going to do this one because I feel like this is something a little bit different. So I'm going to use the leaf burst card shape for this one. Now, one of the things I do keep saying to you is obviously the leaf, the both of them. So the burst card shapes obviously work with the leaf prism card shape. So you need that mechanism. Obviously you can mix these up as well and use them on their own, which is what I've done for this one. So I'm going to show you one of the ways that you can use it on its own. So like I said, the actual outside die is separate to the inside die, giving you all that detail. So I've cut the outside die out, and then those tabs that are obviously built in to work with the leaf die, that you can see, I'm just going to grab so I can show. So you can see the tabs, that cuts out with it, they're built in. I've snipped them off, okay? So you need them there to obviously work with the leaf one. Because we're going to do something a bit different for this, I've cut them off. And then I've just scored the card, look, just an inch or two down, and then just scored across the top. And then I'm going to glue this together. And then that tab bit that I've cut off is obviously going to be the bit that stands the card up, because you've got that flat area then on the bottom. Okay, so we're going to pop that down. And then I've cut out the detail part in a lovely green. So this is that lighter shade of green that you've got in the Perfect Paper. So you do have a light and a dark colour green in there. So I've cut that out in that light green. And I'm going to cut that on there. So let's just add a bit of glue on here. I'll pop this down. But it seems quite nice outside today. It was a bit sunny, so yeah, I feel like the weather is starting to get a bit nicer outside, which is nice. Yeah, it definitely feels like spring is in the air. So yeah, let us know if everything, like I feel like spring is coming because back home by me there's daffodils everywhere now. So when I see the daffodils, I'm always like, oh, warmer days are coming. It's starting to get nicer, and like it's starting to get lighter now as well. You know, in the mornings and in the nights, I feel like it's getting lighter. So it's like, oh yeah, it's definitely, spring is definitely on its way. Now I've cut out the leaf one again in exactly the same colour cardstock, and I'm going to pop this on there, and I'm just layering this up just to give it a little bit more dimension. So that just, can you see how that just pops a little bit more now? I would have used Elevate for that, but I completely run out from the other week. So you can see there. But obviously this doesn't give you as much elevation as like what Elevate would. So it's a nice way of doing it if maybe you want it to be a little bit more 3D than just one layer, but not as elevated as what you'd get with Elevate. So it's just a nice little background way of using that. Yeah. So you can see, it just adds in a little bit more. It just makes those leaves look a little bit more 3D. Right, and then we're going to come in. So I'm going to bring my bouquet in, and I'm going to pop that about there, I think. So I'm just going to snip that base off. Do I want it there? I always do this and I doubt myself of what I want to do. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I've said it's going there, so it's going there. Right, yeah. Right, let's add some pin flare. Oh, just pop that. Right, let's just add some of that on there. So I'm going to just pop that about there, like that. And then I'm going to bring in, so I've got that stump, look at that. How many, honestly, how many collections will you use that with? Like, you could imagine one of the dogs, one of the cats, you could have one of the mice, you could have absolutely the sunset to sunrise. You could use this with the people stood behind it or stood next to it. There's so many different ways, so many collections. That is going to be such a usable one on its own that you could mix in with other collections, and so incredibly detailed. Look at like the moss on the bottom is such a detailed one. Right, so we're going to pop this along the bottom. So I think I'm going to add it. I'm going to move this over a bit. I'm going to add that about there, like that. So let's grab some pin flare. I'm going to pop that there, like that. And then I've also got the nest as well. So I'm going to pop the nest. I think I'm going to put it there. Or should we put it there? See, I always do this. There, we're going to put it on top. So let's add some pin flare, and then I'm just going to pop that there. So we've got our little nest, and then I've got the birds here as well. So I think we might add him there and add him there to even that out a bit. Oh, that's a nice idea. So Bonnie's just said that this would make a nice new baby card because it's like the eggs and Mommy and Daddy. Oh, that's cute. Right, this bird, what I'm going to do, because I want to give it a little bit of depth, so what I'm going to do is I've just pulled the twig forward a bit, and I'm going to tuck his feet behind the stump, but have him actually in front of it. So he's just going to go there, like that. So that is just going to go, so his feet are just going along with the bottom of that. And then I think we'll tuck her. Which one's the mummy and the daddy? Oh, see, I was going with Mummy. Yeah, but Bunny said that's Daddy and that's Mummy. And I was thinking that was Mummy and that was Daddy. It's mad, isn't it? Yeah. And now she doesn't know. Yeah, so this is Daddy. So, okay, so we're going to pop him there. Oh, we've had a message from Pamela. Oh, and she's saying the sun is shining in Edinburgh. Oh, and she's just ordered this stunning collection. Oh, thank you, Pamela, for your message. You are going to absolutely love this collection. And even if the sun is not shining when your delivery comes, you'll be smiling when you see everything. That is going to cheer you up, because it is like, it is, I think it's the colours and everything. It's just a really cheerful collection. And then I'm going to add, I think I'm going to put it there. I was thinking of going there, but no, I feel like it should go there. Yeah, it kind of balances out a bit more. So we're going to go up the top. So I'm going to pop that over there, like that. And the sentiment I've used from one of the Clean Simple ranges, but the actual rectangles themselves are the tabs from the Captured in Time die. So you've got that there. So now if I just open that up. Oh, they're so cute. The birds are so incredibly detailed. Like their eyes look as if they've already got glossy accents in. You can see the little white look, like their eyes are glossy and the feathers. And honestly, the details, I always say it, but do you know when you print them out, like if you've ordered the collection, you can go on the website now and be printing these out ready. Maybe you've got a delivery coming today. You can be printing these out now today, ready for your delivery to come. And when you print them out, because I do this, I print them out and I look at the artwork and I think, wow, they're really detailed. You can see the shading and things. And then you die cut them and you see all those little tiny little die cut lines, and they come to life. They look so incredible when you run them through and you die cut them. They look absolutely amazing. But if you've joined us, midway through the shows, I'm just going to remind you, at the start of the show when we came on air, 45% of the Fleeting Beauty had gone, and 80% of the burst card shaped had gone. And that is the collection, so that's for the two. So if you've just watched the show, maybe you're going to go and have a look on the website in between the shows, because me and Bunny will be back at 12. Then don't hesitate, especially on these two, because the stock is going so quick of them. But yeah, hopefully you'll grab a cup of tea or grab a cup of coffee and you'll come back and meet me and Bunny at 12.